everyone, it's Heather Nichols. I hope you're having a great day at Stamp-a-faire. In this video we're going to explore the technique of pointillism. Pointillism is a technique which small dots of distinct color are applied to patterns to form an image. And in this case we're going to use the dots to color in stamped images. We're going to use a really high-tech tool, this pencil eraser on the end of a pencil, but you're also going to want to go dig out some polka dot stamps from stamps in your collection. Polka Dot Basics 1 would be one of the good ones to pull some single dots out of. And we're going to color in this violet from Year of Flowers Violets. I have it embossed on the white cardstock here with clear embossing powder, and I also have the leaves there too. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start using the polka dot stamps and the pencil eraser, which is basically essentially a circle, and we're going to start applying color to the embossed image. You could stamp it in black too, but I really liked the effect of the embossed image. I'm going to start with a lighter color. This is Winter Wisteria that I'm starting with, and if you look at the violet stamp, there's kind of an inner piece of the petal and an outer piece of the petal, and I'm working on the inner piece of the petal in two shades of purples, and then I'm going to move to the outer shades. And I'm stamping more than once. This is kind of a little tip. Don't just stamp once, stamp more than once. Take advantage of using the different shades of color when you're stamping. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with our lighter shades of color, and then we're going to build up to the darker shades so that we can kind of layer the colors and build up a really neat shading idea. So I did start with the biggest circle, which was my pencil eraser, first, and then I'm going to add smaller dots on top to kind of fill it in. So you could leave your dots all one size, but I chose to do all different sizes of dots. I think it gives a lot of texture to the final product. Now, to speed things up, instead of using one polka dot on that stamp, I put 3 of them together. If you're trying to do a fine area, you can remove a polka dot stamp, but it just makes it go a little bit quicker. And like I said, stamping the impression more than once gives you more coverage, and it also gives you a variation in the different colors. So I'm just showing you here with this Winter Wisteria first, and then I'm going to speed this up and you can just watch and follow along as I color in the image. This does take a little bit of time, so make sure you just relax, kick back. It's kind of like when you color with Copics. You're not in a race here. We're just going for coloring the image and achieving this really cool effect that you can get with pointillism. If you think about it, pointillism is actually something that you see every day. One of the things about printing is that pointillism is a bunch of dots. Well, if you ever look at your inkjet printer or a digital printout or even something that's been printed on a press, it really is comprised of little dots if you look really close. And most of the time the dots are comprised of CMYK, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, and just taking those 4 colors. And really you could do that with pointillism too. I'm just going with the colors just because that's the easier thing to do on a small image like this. So there I've got that Winter Wisteria almost all filled in on that inner portion of the violet petal. You can see I've got kind of a little chart up there that I made with my colors so I could kind of see what shades I have. I'm going in with Plum Pudding next. That's going to be my darker tone. And I'm going to do my darker colors towards the inside of the violet, and I'm going to move out to the lighter. Got a little music in the background here as we fast forward this up. Now I'm doing the outer portion of the petals with the Amethyst Allure color, filling in with the biggest dot first, and then going in with a little bit smaller size dot to fill in the details. It's really cool how you can really watch this image take shape. Not the image, but the actual color. Well, the image too. You're building on the colors. We're building the shades. I'm putting Plum Pudding on top of the Amethyst Allure for kind of a mid-tone shade on that outer part of the petal. And then I'm going to go for Royal Velvet for my darkest tone. Doing the bigger polka dot first and then filling in some detail with the smaller dots. And I think here too I took off some of the stamps so I could just stamp with one dot, just to fill in some little areas and little details. It's pretty amazing how this is just popping alive as the colors get added. Now with the embossing too, make sure you have like a tissue or a paper towel, and then you can wipe that clean. So I've got my purple done, and I'm adding some yellows to the center. Bright Buttercup is my first color that I'm adding, and then I'm going to add a little bit of the Summer Sunrise. And this one I just used the larger eraser because the middle is so detailed with the lines of the actual image that if I did a bunch of little tiny polka dots, you're just not really going to see all of that detail. Not like you would on the more open petals. You'll want to explore your stamp collection because a lot of nice outline images, a lot of flowers would be really great for this technique. I'm going to speed it up here as I show you how I'm coloring in the leaves. I'm using Simply Chartreuse first for my lighter tone of green. Again with the bigger polka dot, and then I'll move to the smaller polka dot to fill in detail. And then Ripe Avocado for a little bit darker tone of green on the leaf for some shading. Doing the smaller leaf as well. And then instead of using die cuts to cut these shapes out, I decided that I really just wanted to fussy cut them so that I could cut right up to the edge of the line on the image. If I did the die, there'd be kind of a space there and you'd see kind of the stamping that goes off the edge. So I think for me, if I'm doing the Pointillism technique, if I'm not staying within the lines real well, cutting out your image is probably the best solution for that. Now that I've got my flower all colored up using the Pointillism technique, I'm ready to put my card together. I have a craft card base that I put in a frame using the string frame set and some rustic jute button twine. And right now I'm just kind of arranging the elements on the card. This sentiment that's on the double-ended banner die cut is from the Skinny. That was a set released not too long ago. And I'm just going to have that peek out from behind that violet. I'm just kind of rearranging to get it into place. And then the main sentiment on the card is from Graceful Greetings, the Thinking of You, and I die cut that out on some white cardstock. And that's going to sit right above, right here. So I've got everything adhered into place. Just getting a last little word all covered in the adhesive, and I'm going to attach that to the card front. And that's looking pretty good. And then as one last detail, I'm going to add just a few sequins, just for a little sparkle and shine across that card. And that should pretty much do it. You can head over to Nicole Hetty's blog where you can post your projects that you've created with the Pointillism technique. Also, you can get all the details on all of the contests that are going on today for Stamp-a-faire. This has been Heather Nichols. Thank you so much for joining me and have a great rest of your day.